Hi, folks. Welcome to another of our daily devotions. We're once again in the 15th Psalm, and I want us to think about the statement that's made in verse 4. Here we see a contrast with regards to the true child of God's attitude towards the wicked and the godly. The Psalm says, "In whose eyes a vile person is despised, but he honours those who fear the Lord." Now, what are we to make of this first statement? In whose eyes a vile person is despised. Surely, as a Christian, we shouldn't despise anyone. It's not a very Christian attitude, some would say, to despise another person. And yet, we do have biblical examples of this. Perhaps the most clear one is that found in 2 Kings chapter 3 and verse 14. Elisha the prophet is summoned by the king of Israel, Jehoram, who is a wicked king, one who does evil in the eyes of the Lord, and he's summoned to come and to speak to Jehoram, who is accompanied by Jehoshaphat, the king of Judah, a good king, to speak about the Lord's statements about what's going to happen in the war. This is what Elisha says to King Jehoram: "As the Lord of hosts lives, before whom I stand, were it not that I have regard for Jehoshaphat, the king of Judah, I would neither look at you or see you." Elisha is letting the king know what he thought of him. He's letting him know what he thinks of this wicked king's sinful rule and wicked way of life. He has no time for him. He wouldn't even be seen with him. So what this statement in Psalm 15 is saying to us, in whose eyes a vile person is despised, it is saying that we are not to cozy up to, we are not to fawn around, we are not to seek popularity with sinful, wicked people, especially when other people are doing so, when other people are wanting to fawn around them and popularize them. One thinks of people, for example, who are in positions of authority over us, politicians, very public faces, and yet whose lives are wicked and sinful. They have no time for God. Or people who are celebrities, who have no time for God, and who maybe they're gay, or they're promoting and supporting things like abortion, or they're on their third wife, having divorced 2 or 3 times, or maybe they're known to be drug users or whatever. People like pop stars, or maybe sports stars whose way of life is far from Christian, to say the least. Certain TV personalities or film stars. People want to meet them. People want to get selfies with them. People want to go along to see them, maybe to go to their concerts. A Christian is someone who should not have a high and exalted view for such people. Young Christians shouldn't have posters of the likes of Taylor Swift or others of a similar nature on their bedroom. Instead of celebrating such people, they should recognise their life for what it is and basically have no time for them in their sinful lifestyle. We should pray for them, but we should not affirm them. I have to say, when I was young, I was a massive Queen fan. I still like their music. And I used to love Freddie Mercury, the lead singer of Queen. And yes, back then, I would have loved to have had a photograph with him. I'd love to have met him. Not now. Not after reading what this psalm says. He's dead, of course, and there's no possibility of that. But even if he were still alive, and I had the opportunity to have a selfie with him or to get his autograph, I wouldn't do so. In whose eyes a vile person is despised. Yes, I admire Freddie Mercury's singing ability, but as far as a person goes, as far as the life that he lived goes, I've no desire to affirm or encourage that. The psalmist goes on, he honours those who fear the Lord. He holds in high esteem even the lowliest child of God. In the Times newspaper every Saturday, there's a column where a famous person, some celebrity or other, gives information about themselves, and it's a sort of a get to know you better page. And one of the questions they're asked is, if you were having a dinner party, who would you invite? And of course, the names who are suggested to be invited to such a dinner party are all well-known celebrities, and every one of them almost are people who were not Christians. As a Christian, if we were asked, who would you invite to a dinner party? Who would you honour by sending them an invitation? We should be honouring people who are not well known, people who are not celebrities, but people who love the Lord. Is that the way you look at life? In whose eyes vile men are despised, but he honours those who fear the Lord. May God help us to take the teaching of this part of the psalm to heart and to help use it to shape and form our future attitudes. Have a great day, folks. God bless you.